Good evening, everyone. I'm John Truitt. Tonight on your WZMQ 19 News, we've got the results of yesterday's election from across the Upper Peninsula, including a Delta County ballot measure that voters supported but will not be moving forward. Plus, the Gwynn Area Community School District once again asked residents to support a millage increase. We'll tell you how that vote went. And voters in Ishpeming passed a bond proposal to upgrade its athletic facilities. Your 19 News at 6 starts now.
Live from the UP, this is WZMQ 19 News at 6.
Hey, Kelly, how are things looking in the forecast?
Yeah, John, good evening. We definitely have an interesting picture behind me right here of the 19 News downtown Marquette sky cam. Some dark skies, and we have some showers that have started to move into the UP. They're still light at this moment, but definitely giving us some light drizzles for that evening commute right now. Right now, temperatures into the mid to lower 40s. We still have near 50 degrees down into Menominee. And tonight, we'll see temperatures dipping down into the lower 30s. Lots of sunshine, but chilly sunshine to start out tomorrow. And in a few minutes, I'll check in on the rest of the week and a look at that possibility for some snow accumulation for the weekend.
Thanks, Kelly. After yesterday's elections across the Upper Peninsula, many leaders have chipped in with their reactions on what passed and what didn't. Voters showed up in person and mailed in ballots throughout Marquette County, making choices in races for municipal positions, as well as a number of school bond proposals to benefit students and faculty. According to the Marquette County Clerk, voters showed up at an expected rate for an odd year election, and a majority of the proposals were supported by their communities.
We did have one proposal that did not pass, but the rest did. So that was good. That was positive. You're always at about between 20 and 25%. We were at almost 24% on this election for turnout.
The county's Board of Canvassers will meet on Monday to finalize the votes, including those cured signatures as well as military and overseas ballots. In Escanaba, residents voted on a proposal to change how certain funds are utilized. Since 1965, gas utility proceeds have been restricted to be used on capital improvements. The ballot measure proposed using that money to instead reduce unfunded pension liabilities. While the measure received just over 50% support, it required a 3/5 vote to pass, meaning the pension will continue to be funded through gas utilities.
Our goal was really just to try and protect these funds from inflation and put them to a higher use to kind of reduce the burden on future taxpayers and ratepayers. Our goal is within the next decade to get those fully funded, and this would have accelerated our timeline a bit.
Also on yesterday's ballot, City Council members Mark Amel, Ronald Beauchamp, and Todd Floth all faced re-election. But with no challengers, they will all retain their positions. Over in Gladstone, 3 seats on the City Commission were up for grabs. Voters had 4 choices: sitting commissioners Joe Thompson and Steve O'Driscoll, local business owner Whitney Maloney, and retired electrical engineer Mike O'Connor. Both incumbents received 29% and 24% of the vote, respectively, and will serve another term. O'Driscoll, who has been on the board for nearly a year and a half, says he's looking forward to continuing to work for the citizens of Gladstone.
My goals mainly are just to respond to the things that happen in our city and make sure that we act accordingly in the best interests of all of our residents and continue the great momentum that we have here in Gladstone.
Between the other 2 candidates, Maloney came out on top with 28% of the vote. She says her primary goal as a new commissioner is to learn as much as possible.
I'm coming in as the newbie. This is my first elected position, so I understand the assignment of learning as much as I can, asking the questions, having an open mind, and being really curious and inquisitive and taking in as much information as I can.
Escanaba and Gladstone were the only cities in Delta County to hold elections, which saw a meager 17% voter turnout. In Forsyth Township, the Gwynn Area Community Schools' latest bond proposal has failed. The school board was asking to borrow just over $48 million, with a tax levy of 4.86 mils for the construction of a new elementary school and extensive renovations to the high school middle school complex. The measure failed, with 41% voting yes and 59% voting no. This latest bond proposal was a scaled-back version compared to previous attempts.
We trimmed and cut. We went from 60 million down to 48,065,000. We cut out a full gym. We cut down from 4 classrooms to 3.
The school board will now regroup and decide how to proceed without that funding. On the west end of Marquette County, Ishpeming Public Schools passed its bond proposal. Upon its passing, the school will be able to build new locker rooms, bathrooms, and a concession stand at its athletic field, as well as repave the facility's tennis courts. With a proposal of tax bonds costing $3.7 million, voters approved the measure by almost 200 votes. The school superintendent says the facilities will extend years of athletics for future students, and that the district is proud of its community members for their support.
We're very thankful for not only the community, but the alumni. They come from all around to support our students. And our students are aware, and we're very grateful for the support that we receive.
The new construction is expected to begin early in 2026. Your first warning weather forecast is coming up after the break. Plus, we'll hear from lawmakers in Lansing about a proposal to do away with the Michigan Economic Development Corporation. All those details coming up.
Now, WZMQ TV 19 First Warning Weather with meteorologist Kelly Rowland.
Welcome back. We have temperatures into the lower 40s right now. Of course, going to be cooling down through this evening, especially with that little bit of rain, and also the winds are from the northwest. So we do have some pretty breezy conditions, especially up to Copper Harbor, about 26 mile per hour winds. So that means gusts are around 25 to 30 up into that area, but a very consistent wind direction. So this is bringing some light showers through the Upper Peninsula. But other than that, really not too much going on. But throughout the northern portions of the UP, we are seeing some showers at the moment, and there are some heavier showers embedded in there, but really shouldn't give too many issues if you're still headed out at all later tonight. But throughout the overnight and Especially tomorrow morning, we do have a decent chance, a very high chance of some frost. So it's going to be a very cold start tomorrow, especially out to the western half of the UP. Please keep that in mind. Make sure to bundle up, cover exposed skin. We need to start getting into that winter mindset, especially with snow in the forecast here. And we might even just see it depending on how far our future cast goes. But tomorrow we're going to get a break, a nice kind of preparation for what is in store. And then this quickly moves by for Friday morning. Now we'll likely see rain on Friday, but then as we get colder with the nighttime temperatures for Friday night, we definitely could see this turn into a wintry mix and also some snow by the time we get to about 8-9 o'clock. So Friday will likely be a mix. It could be some sleet, could be some freezing rain. Freezing rain is the most dangerous of the winter precipitation because that contributes to the black ice aspect of it. But for the time being, I kind of stopped it right where this could still be rain. But then if I advance this, we're going to see the snow component in there. So it's not quite accurate for future rain totals if we'll have some snow mixed in there. But we know Friday night is kind of the start of this change and the incoming snow coming our way. So the winds will still be on the calm side from the south for tomorrow, about 10 miles per hour, kind of keeping anything that would want to come in here out of the way. But I still have this extended future cast on for you to show you what I'm looking at for the snow. So definitely Friday night we'll start to see that change from rain to snow. And then Saturday and Sunday we could very well continue to see kind of the lake effect snow happening just because this is a major low pressure system moving through the Great Lakes. It's a classic lake effect setup that we have going on, and we will have the cold enough temperatures to support this type of snow. So again, that's one model that I showed you, but what models don't quite understand is things that humans could understand, like the terrain and just different climate patterns over time. A weather model just gives you what it thinks is going to happen just from one run. But what I'm doing is trying to analyze, seeing if totals are starting to match up. I wanted to give a better idea of some totals for you today, but I'm just not quite seeing things matching up. But I do know it's best to just prepare for that potential for a few inches, especially into the Marquette County area, because that's where the best chance of some snow is happening. So again, closer on to this event, I'll have a better idea of exact snow totals, but it's going to get colder, 30s by the weekend, especially Sunday into Monday. That's going to be our best chance of some snow accumulation, and then we'll start to see the temperatures back up to the 40s and drying back out by this time next week.
Thanks, Kelly. In Lansing, House Republicans are calling for Michigan's main business incentive agency to be shut down. A new two-bill package would abolish the Michigan Economic Development Corporation, or MEDC, which critics say has failed to deliver on its promises of job creation. A study revealed that over 20 years, only 1 out of every 11 jobs promised through the agency was actually realized. Lawmakers have yet to introduce a proposal for a replacement, but have said it's a priority before the end of the year.
These are taxpayers' dollars. These are hardworking taxpayers. These are single mothers. These are married couples. And we're taking their tax dollars and we're writing bribery checks to corporations to convince them to come to Michigan.
We'll have more from lawmakers tonight on 19 News at 11, 10 Central. Up next after the break, we're talking to the Michigan State Police about the upcoming Trooper Recruit School. That's next. These look good.
Yeah.
Mic check, Ben.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
You're watching WZMQ 19 News, live and local, with John Truitt.
Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back, everyone. Applications are now open for the Michigan State Police 151st Trooper Recruit School. We're here with the details with Lieutenant Benjamin Ekela. Thanks for joining us, Ben. How are you today?
Great, thanks for having us.
Well, the MSP is in the process of trying to recruit more troopers. Can you tell me about their efforts? You were talking about two different methods.
Yeah, so we are currently taking applications. We are really focusing on getting some more troopers hired. We have other positions as well, like our commercial vehicle enforcement division, our motor carrier officers, and civilian employees too, but we're really focused on trying to hire some more troopers. So we have recruit school scheduled to take place next July, and we have a couple different options. We have our traditional recruit school, which is open for anyone to apply who has a high school diploma, good character, the basic requirements. But we also have a shortened, condensed version available for current certified police officers who had the goal of becoming troopers. It's a little shortened school, taking into consideration their experience and knowledge that they already bring to the table as current police officers. So a couple different paths to become troopers, and we currently have vacancies we're trying to fill statewide.
Yeah, could you tell me about that kind of need that we have, especially up here in the UP?
Yeah, so here in the UP, we are trying to just emphasize that we think it's the best place to live and work and raise a family and be integrated with the UP communities while serving as a trooper. We think it's a really special place here in the Upper Peninsula. So there are positions open statewide, but here locally, we'd love to get some more troopers back here to serve within the Upper Peninsula.
The ideal candidate would have what kind of background, what kind of experience would be necessary?
Well, some of our minimum requirements, you have to be at least 21 years old by the time you graduate our academy. Good character, hardworking, driven type of person. But really, we see troopers come from all walks of life, whether it's you just get out of college or maybe you're a career change, maybe prior military. We see age ranges from turning 21 right before graduation all the way up until even some have graduated in their 50s. So there's been really all different walks of life who have went on to become troopers.
Maybe I'll consider a career change. Tell me, what are some of the benefits about becoming a state trooper?
Well, really, it's something that a lot of troopers refer to as kind of a higher calling. You really have that inner desire to be a problem solver and to help people and to have a career where you're part of a team and it's an adventure every day. So that kind of goes without saying. But also on a personal level, you have a lot of career opportunities with the Michigan State Police. You have statewide jurisdiction. You can serve anywhere in the state of Michigan. There's a lot of opportunities available for specialty positions like K-9 or undercover teams. And also just on a personal level, it's very competitive pay and benefits. The troopers and sergeants just got a substantial 20% raise, so that definitely helps on the personal side as well. So there's a lot of reasons that make up why being an MSP trooper is really awesome, and those are just a few.
Right. Thank you so much for that look at how to become a state trooper. It sounds like a really worthwhile endeavor. If anybody out there wants to try it, they should just go on your website.
Yep, there's a lot of information available on our website. We'd also be happy to talk to you in person, get you some hands-on experience if you're looking for stuff like that. and help you walk through any of your questions or the hiring process. So if that's you, we'd love to talk to you. Reach out to your local post, and we'd love to talk to you from there.
All right. Thank you, Lieutenant Ekela.
Thank you.
As always, a pleasure to talk to you. That's it. When we come back, it's time for Creature Feature. We'll see what Easton from Northern Scales Reptiles has for us today. Plus, Starbucks 2025 holiday menu is back. We'll show you what to expect.
He's kind of in the way, so I didn't know.
How's Easton's mic, buddy?
Hello?
Welcome back, everyone, and welcome back, Easton. Who do you have for us today? It looks like a snake.
Yep, this is Zeus. He is a northern pine snake. He is one of the larger kind of constrictors we have here in the U.S. Right now, he's a little grumpy, not in like a biting sense, but like a you woke me up from my nap kind of sense.
Yeah. What are those found around here? Are they local?
These guys can be found between, not really up here. Up here we mistaken fox snakes for them a lot. A lot of people come in like, oh, I saw this giant pine snake. I'm like, well, we don't have any past Virginia, so I don't know. From Tennessee, Virginia area down to northern Florida, actually you can find these guys all over the place. They'll be wrapped up on the ground, kind of like a rattlesnake. They start to mimic them with their like facial patterns and whatnot, but people mistaken them for rattlesnakes down there and fox snakes up here.
Right. Let's see his face if you could.
Yeah, here we
Do
go.
people ever mistake these guys for rattlesnakes?
Sometimes they do. It's a little hard for me to mistaken them, honestly, because rattlesnakes have that light brown tan color to them. These guys have a black and white to them, and the faces are a little different, but to somebody that's afraid of snakes and whatnot, they're
Like
going
me.
to look and run. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they're not really that harmful. You said they have a bite, but they're not venomous?
Yeah, they got a pretty quick bite. That's why we named him Zeus, just because his response to food and whatnot is pretty actively fast. But with that, though, he's not really, if he does bite me, I mean, it's going to feel like a paper cut, and that's about it. So
Yeah.
nothing too aggressive. But they do have these facial features up here, and actually their scales. These is kind of more like a cantankerous build to make them more well-suited for burrowing underground.
Right.
So that actually, the name pine snake comes from their scales. If you want to feel right there, kind of feels like a pine cone. Promise you won't bite you.
Oh, wow, they're harder.
Yeah.
It feels like a log.
Yeah, almost. It's a little more well built up just to make sure that they can kind of like, if anyone's ever seen the movie Tremors, kind of like burrow through the dirt a little easier. Not like a Tremors worm, but just enough where they can dig out the dirt from the burrow and make sure they can hibernate when it gets a little colder.
Yeah. What's his personality like? He looks very curious.
He's kind of like a grumpy old dude. Like, well, not the, yeah. He's more like kind of like the grumpy cat you have at grandma's house, the one that never wants to get picked up, but then once you do pick him up, he's like, okay, fine, I'll put up with it till you put me back in the tank.
Right.
He's been huffing and puffing all over set just since I've been here, but he definitely's calmed down a little bit. He's a little more like, oh, I'm actually out and about. This feels way better than being in the cage. Most animals like to be kind of climbing around. Don't know if anyone can hear him when he's huffing, but he's kind of, he has these large filaments in his mouth that usually the filaments, all snakes have them. That's what makes the hissing noise, but he has larger ones that make them a lot louder than most. So if you're like hiking around on a trail and you spook one of these guys, you'll hear a big loud hiss, louder than normal, like someone just yelled at you, kind of.
And is that a defense mechanism or a warning?
It's more like a warning just before the defense mechanism comes in. Like if you are really scaring them, they are definitely going to strike because, I mean, this 6-foot giant walking, or 5 to 6 foot giant walking through the woods that towers over you, I'd be pretty afraid too. If I was this little down to earth guy.
Yeah, you said he's a little bit larger than average.
Yeah, pine snakes get around 5 to 6 feet for males. I believe females actually reach that same range, but he's getting a little bigger than 6 feet. I think he's like 6 feet 2 inches right now, so it's getting a little bit up there. If he can get around 6 feet 5 inches, I think I'll call that like a world record for the shop, or a shop record.
Okay. Well, great. It's great to meet Zeus, and as always, Easton, thank you so very much for bringing in our little slithery pal here.
Yeah.
When we come back, Kelly Rowland has a final look at weather.
All right, we have some rain moving through the Upper Peninsula, but if you look at our Doppler radar in between Baraga and Marquette County, we do have an indication of some blue, which means there could be some wet snowflakes kind of mixing in here, and with low temperatures being around freezing for everyone tonight, if we do have more of those lingering showers, can't rule out that wintry mix. We'll start to see the shift in those temperatures once we get to the weekend, but before that, we're nice and dry for tomorrow before some wintry mix is on the way for Friday and also through the weekend. More details coming up tonight.
And finally tonight, we may just be entering November, but it's beginning to look a lot like Christmas at one national coffee chain. Starbucks has introduced its 2025 holiday menu, which officially becomes available tomorrow. Drink options include seasonal favorites like peppermint mocha, iced sugar cookie, and iced gingerbread kai. The menu also features treats like the fan favorite snowman cookie and the new cinnamon pull-apart. Also returning this year is Red Cup Day. On November 13th, customers who purchased any holiday beverage will receive a collectible reusable cup to celebrate the season in style. That's it for us at 19 News. Have a great evening, and we'll see you back here at 11.